Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ozymandious Wadada from Lesotho in the city of Maseru. I am going to present to you an ideology of MM. What is MM? MM is an international mutual aid community funded by Sir Seji Mafrodi. Sir Seji Mafrodi, the title I'm giving to Sir Mafrodi because I believe he deserves some respect because of the amount of work he has done for the entire world. MM is not a bank nor an investment, but purely a community of generous and loyal participants willing to help each other out of their own free will and rise above poverty. The thought behind the ideology of MM came into being a while back in the memorable years of 1989 and was triggered by many factors, including the transition from socialism to capitalism, the manner in which it was executed. A lot has been said about other contributory factors towards the MM ideology, and not so much about this huge and very beneficial move if implemented correctly. That being said, I wish to base my presentation on this niche, focusing on the transition from socialism to capitalism. In the first place, what is socialism? First and foremost, let us understand the idea of socialism. It is the state of an economy where factors of production are owned and controlled by the state. The state dictates how much to produce, and the allocation of production to the public is rationed according to a decided quota. Socialism is characterized by such things such as free public education, free or subsidized health care, social security for elderly, and higher taxes on the rich. It is, however, not so efficient method, since even those enterprises that are not economically justifiable are financed from the government covers and keep functioning and keep draining the public funds in the process. Now we'll move on to the idea of capitalism. What is capitalism? On the other hand, capitalism is a social state based on the principle of individual rights. Politically, it is a system of laissez-faire, which is freedom. Legally, it is a system of objective laws, rule of law as opposed to rule of man. Economically, when such freedom is applied to the sphere of production, it results in the free market. In free market, factors of production are privately owned and controlled. This system is seen as more efficient, beneficial, and profitable compared to the state-controlled socialism system, in that any loss-making enterprise will be shut down. Because individuals are in business for profits, they strive for cost minimization and optimize all activities so that in the end, all resources are put to their best use. Capitalists believe that the government does not use economic resources as efficient as private enterprises would do, and therefore society is better off with the free market determining economic winners and losers. Now let's look at the transition. Transition from socialism to capitalism. The transition is the process of transferring the publicly owned assets to be privately owned and controlled in the quest to attain maximum efficiency. The transition takes place through privatization, in which publicly owned investments, enterprises, and assets are sold through public auctions to the people to privately own, run, and operate. Now, what's the problem? If we're moving from the socialism, which is not so efficient, and to capitalism, which is so efficient, what's the problem? Here is the problem, and here is the catch. The reality is that these government assets, as they are being auctioned, do not come cheap, such that ordinary citizens could not even come anywhere near owning them. Only the big connected guys could afford these auctions. These are the people close to the government officials, and they would know of the properties to be auctioned well in advance, so they could prepare for such auctions in terms of collecting funds and getting ready to accumulate wealth. This is what Sam Afrodi saw as equivalent to stealing public assets by the big connected guys. Everybody knows the fight was fixed. The poor stay poor, the rich get richer and richer. Ideology. The manner in which the transition was conducted got Sam Afrodi thinking very hard and deeper about the future of the ordinary people. For how long will they keep toiling in labor, yet got poorer and poorer day in, day out? This is when Sam Afrodi decided he would come up with a mechanism to allow poor and ordinary citizens to collect their monies and be able to collectively buy some of these assets, own and run them. So was behind the idea of acquiring the auctioned assets by the ordinary citizens who would have shares in the bought properties. In conclusion, therefore, is not and has never and will never be in place to make people rich, nor to increase the profits, but merely to promote fair financial wild order. If people are united, help each other, then they will be really free, since they will be able to provide themselves with a decent standard of living without additional assistance from the state or the banks. Ladies and gentlemen, modern world is bad. It's really bad. It is the world of money. It is for those who produce money, takers. The idea of is to change these unfair and unjust financial structures so that each and everyone has the chance to change their lives. Is laying a fair playground for each and every one of us. Is in the fight against debt and poverty for each and every soul around the world. What is money? Perhaps it is important to understand money. In economics, money is a medium of exchange and a measure of work. When money is earned, it is a measure of how much labor one has toiled. This simply means the harder one works, the more money they should be able to make. But the reality is the opposite. The hardworking people are the poorest of them all. The poor stay poorer, the rich get richer and richer day by day. And this is not consistent. is in place to try and correct this inconsistency. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we live in the internet age. People from different parts of the world can not only communicate with each other in social networks, but they can also change the world. The things that used to be unreal now becomes achievable. Is building a new model of economic relations which will make the world more humane. This will be it for now. We are the community. We can do a lot of things. Together we can change the world. Thank you very much. Have a good day.